You should use a condom before you listen.
The American dream is dead.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett, Beaver Kool-Aid.
We have not had a podcast in a few weeks, and we apologize for that. My podcastees are, is that right? Oh, fellow podcasters.
Right, that's it.
Yeah. Have been engaged in various events. I do want to, I right off from the beginning of the show, I did want to ask Lloyd a question.
What's that?
You did go to the River City Rock Festival here in San Antonio.
I did.
Did you happen to be around Joan Jett?
No, I didn't. She
Joan Jett celebrated her 60th.
60th,
birthday.
yeah. She looked great and she sounded great.
I mean, how close did you look?
I mean, she's got a little mileage on her, but
well, because I just had to lead with this because I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
And recent cancer survivor, big time podcast listener, Morgan Harper, asked me to ask you, have you noticed that Joan Jett has developed a granny lip?
I did not notice that. What do you mean, like she's got whiskers or what?
You know, that kind of furrowed upper granny lip?
Yeah,
thingy?
yeah. Well, she probably smoked at a younger age, and maybe she still does. That happens to a lot of smokers. They get the granny lip.
They get the granny lip?
Yeah.
It comes in, but you didn't notice that?
I did not get that close to her. She denied me for my interview request. I wanted to promote her new.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I got turned down by Joan's management.
After all these freaking years,
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. She.
That's unbelievable.
Manager turned me down.
I'm so sorry for that.
It's okay. It's all right.
Was it really her or Kenny Laguna?
It might have been Kenny.
Tell everybody who Kenny Laguna is.
Choreographer of a lot of her things and videos, and wrote a lot of the music with her in the Runaways.
Maybe she's tired, man. She's 60. I mean, all those girls in the Runaways are 60.
She sounded great. I mean, I don't know how much of that was recorded or enhanced, but she sounded really great. She looked good.
She's been doing Nirvana reunions.
Yes.
And singing with the
right
surviving members of Nirvana.
Right.
I heard only good things about her performance.
She sounded great.
Just, on behalf of my friend and big time podcast listener, Morgan Harper.
I know Morgan very well, and Morgan, I did not get close enough to see the granny lip, but you're probably right. She probably does have one. I mean, Lisle has one, and they're close to the same age, so why wouldn't she?
Well, she's a year older than I am.
Oh, okay.
Easy, Lloyd. Easy. But she wears leather a lot better than I do.
Well, that's true.
Right.
But
my tits are bigger, though.
She doesn't want to have tits, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I never wanted to have tits.
Hey.
Doesn't Joan Jett pitch? Doesn't she pitch for the other team?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you kidding? We all knew about her before Rob Halford. I mean, I think, you know. Now, the last time we spoke, we were talking about the Brett Kavanaugh stuff. Now, Brett has been sworn in.
Boy, that was a circus.
He is now a Supreme Court justice. How do you guys feel about all that?
Well, one thing I noticed is there was literally, his name was not mentioned on any news today. It's kind of like, well, we lost that one, so let's move on to something else. What can we talk about? I mean,
it's not always the way it is.
It's gone. I mean, one weekend, he is no longer newsworthy.
But it's not just him. It's everything. That's the way it is. They hit it hard, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I think the election is eclipsing that. That's all.
Yeah.
I think you know, the midterm elections are a big deal. They're a bigger deal than they've been in a long time.
You know, my daughters asked me tonight, you know, what do you think? I said, well, I've always said, I know he wasn't on trial to get the nomination, or if I was on a jury and they were trying to make him look guilty for sexually assaulting the doctor there, I would have probably said, you know, I just can't give him a guilty, because I never did think that they had enough evidence, and especially since the people that she had named that were there wouldn't, you know, verify that. So
I didn't go along with this crap about when he forced back. You like beer? You drink beer? Have you had beer? Huh? You ever done beer bongs? Huh? Oh, maybe you're saying I have. Have you done it? You know, so you ever had a dirty Sanchez?
He just came across as a whiny little bitch. And
You ever
I mean,
had I just thought that the temperament was not exactly what I wanted for the Supreme Court. But, you know, that's the way our life is. And I liked it. It's like when I read these news accounts, the nation galvanized and I thought, are you kidding me? No, not the nation galvanized. I bet you less than 10% of the nation. I bet you 5% of the nation knew what the hell was going on.
5% sounds very accurate to me. 5% sounds about right.
5% at the most. So when they say nation galvanized, workplaces are stopped, you know, watching testimony.
I guess we'll just have to see what he rules on, and we'll kind of see if he is a fair judge or if he does look like he's somebody that is still a little under Trump's thumb there. I mean,
now they're waiting for Ruth baby to go south, so they can get that too.
Yeah.
There's no check. Life goes on. You got to remember that even before these guys, even before Gorsuch and before Kavanaugh, that is that his name?
Yeah.
I can't remember anymore. Is
I
it
think
Brett?
that's it. Brett.
Is it, anyhow, that this court decided that corporations are people and could funnel money to political causes,
Right.
as much as they wanted, essentially, and that happened before any of these justices. So, and that to me was that was beginning to all sorts of unbelievable things that have gone on. So you just what do you do, Lloyd? You take care of your own, right?
That's
True?
exactly
you
right.
Take care of your own. Do you put on stocking cap and go and protest? What do you do? Do you move on?
I mean, I think on a more conceptual level here, the problem that I have with with anything right now is the disgusting, the fucking disgusting tribalism that is a cancer on the country.
Yeah.
The red versus blue assholes.
Oh, it's more than
that are
that,
everywhere.
dude. It's the patriots versus the socialists versus the globalists versus the. Are you kidding?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's in a tribe, and everybody else is wrong, and it is totally devastating.
Well, I thought as I got older, I would get more and more involved and get behind things, but I found myself completely doing the opposite. I mean, every time I go to North Carolina and I go back to that farmhouse, it's not surrounded by any neighbors within about a quarter of a mile on any side of me. That house is starting to look a lot more inviting.
Oh, isolationist. So you got your patriots, you got your socialists, you got your globalists, and now you're isolationist.
And on top of it, I started looking at fences that I could put in the backyard just in case someone decided to drive into the driveway, that I could still
come by and be with you.
Right, come by. I could still have to make sure they had to go through a gate before they could come up. Now, mind you, my closest neighbor would be about a quarter mile away. So, but still, I want a fence.
You guys communicate by hollering, right? Yeah, you got certain hollers, and they recognize that, and they bring you buttermilk. My phone of 5 years, 8 months went bye-bye last week.
What does that mean?
Was that your flip phone or the pouch bag?
No, it was the first phone I ever had to pay for.
Oh.
And it was an iPhone 5.
Wow. I'm impressed. Yeah.
And I didn't have to pay for it when I got it back in the olden days. But it finally, it took a tumble from my lap to the floor. It was already on its last legs, and that was it. So the keyboard wouldn't operate anymore. I couldn't enter a passcode. I couldn't do anything with it. So I had to get a new phone. Tell
me you got the 10 Max.
Didn't get the 10 Max. I got the 10S.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
And, they're all saying, oh, you're going to notice a big difference. You definitely need an upgrade. Yeah, this is going to be great. And I got everything down because mine was on its last legs. I backed up stuff to the cloud, which I hadn't been doing. And so, yeah, I got everything downloaded, but it's amazing because I wanted to see if you guys reacted the same way that others have reacted when I said, yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been in touch with you. My phone died and I waited a few days before I got a new phone because I really didn't want, I was waiting for the 10R, but that's not out to the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I said, but I finally had to bite the bullet and spend all this freaking money on a phone. But I didn't say that. I said, hey, I got a new phone because my other one just totally died. I'm sorry. And they said, congratulations. Like I had won something. Congratulations. And I said, what's congratulations? I spent $1,200 some dollars on a freaking phone.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You didn't do the monthly phone next plan where you're only paying
I'm doing that, but I mean, it's you're paying it $38 a month for 30 months,
right.
And then your tax still doesn't matter. I got the receipt and it says $1,200 some dollars.
Yes.
For a freaking phone. But I know that because it's not a phone. And that's the problem. That becomes a misnomer because the phone is the least used feature by most people.
That's right.
Except for old guys like me. It's a phone. It's not a miniature laptop, which it is. I mean, I got 256 gigs. I mean, come on.
Not to mention that badass 4K camera you got on there to shoot a few of your, your home movies there with whatever you want to do with those.
I know how you're thinking, Lloyd. That's what I was thinking. 4K video, baby.
Who cares?
And 256 gigs. You got a lot of room, man.
I got a lot of room. I can shoot but even my kids started treating me differently.
Yeah.
They treated me differently for a week because I got that phone.
Yeah.
Let's look at the phone. Oh my gosh. I want to look. I can help you with your phone. I can set this up. Hey, look at that phone.
Yeah.
Because before Dad's like, he's got the 1982 Chrysler.
Yeah. He's got the 5S Pontiac.
There's nothing wrong with a flip phone.
All of a sudden I step in and they're, it puts their 6s in the dirt. And,
yeah, you're cool. You're the cool dad.
And all of a sudden I'm the cool guy off of a freaking phone.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well, congratulations for what? I just spent $1,200 I don't have.
Well, I've been a pretty smart guy when it comes to the iPhones. I mean, I've always planned out my attack of when I'm going to have it, how long I'm going to keep it, and then when I'm going to get the next one. I mean,
Lloyd, you've been there, you've done it. I didn't do that. I got free phones for forever.
I know, but I'm just saying,
I
man.
didn't have to pay for phones or phone service or anything. And I remember when you had the iPhone came out and there it was, you had it. You were enamored. You showed me all these things on it. I just can't believe that somehow, if you say you got a new phone, that people say, congratulations, just like you had a baby.
Well, it's just like you getting a new car. I mean, it's like getting a new car. It's like you drive up with a new car. People's like, oh, man, congrats. You got that Tesla, man. You're looking good. You got that iPhone.
I never say congratulations when somebody has a new car.
Oh, I do.
That's nice. I never say congratulations because I know they can't afford it, or, if I knew they did, then I'm just jealous. If, they could just write a check. I never say, hey, congratulations to me is like you won it, or, your company gave it to you, or that kind of.
Well, maybe they're thinking congratulations because you're the cool dad for a week. I mean,
if I go out and drop $2,000 on a pair of shoes, and I say, hey, look at my new shoes, and people go, hey, congratulations.
No, I'd say if you fucking lost your mind, but because exactly. I know that when you come home with a pair of $2,000 shoes, I know you've lost your mind. Or you're checking out ones. Like John's about to drive a car off a cliff if he's buying $2,000 pair of shoes.
Well, it's the same thing of saying congratulations to somebody who just put $1,000 into a $45,000 deal. They're on the hook for, hey, man, that's great.
It's not a phone. You're right. I mean, we spend our whole life. I mean, you might as well have something. If you spend this much time and your life evolves around a piece of technology, you might as well have a good one. And you've got the best.
Was a year ago, I got rid of my landline, and that was a very weird thing to do.
Oh, me too.
And I felt very strange about that. So when this phone started crapping out all the time, like 4 days later, I get voicemail from people. and just all sorts of strange things. I thought, I don't want to pay for a phone.
I really don't hardly get voicemail at all anymore. People just text me now. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I bet I don't get 5 voicemails a month.
Really?
No.
You know, I'm like, hi, Lloyd. This is Cindy.
Yeah.
So if you own an iPhone,
SINDE, you know.
If you own an iPhone, they say that if you have the ability to own an iPhone, doesn't matter if you make 30 grand a year or whatever, if you make enough money to own and pay for an iPhone, you are considered in the top.
The elite?
Yeah, you're considered rich.
Upper middle class?
And I haven't made any money in years, and I have no job. Okay.
So they measure cultural distance between two groups as the ability to, infer an individual's, group based on his media consumption, his consumer behavior, time use, social attitudes, all of that. And so if you are able to own an iPhone, you're in a level that most of the world is not in.
Well, even though I'm paying $38 a month.
But how about this? I've been putting away a little bit of money every month for like the last 12 months, so I don't have that $1,200 30-month payment. I'm going to get it down to somewhere in about the $700 range, which is kind of what I paid for the 6S Plus, and I'm like, going to keep my payments around $25.
All of my money goes to vodka.
Don't you understand? It's interest-free, Lloyd.
That doesn't matter.
But that's $700.
I'd rather pay
Bitcoin. Dude.
I'd rather pay $25 a month than $45.
Lloyd, you don't know jack shit about Bitcoin.
Money, I don't know anything.
You just, it's like you're like doing your own layaway plan on a phone.
Yeah.
Instead of getting the phone, I'm going to keep putting little money away.
Well, I wasn't ready for it yet, though. It's not that I couldn't afford it when it came out. It's just like I really don't need it till after the first of the year.
Star collecting.
Have you seen the articles that they got out now where these kids, they bought 100 Bitcoin in 2012 and now they're all the gillionaires?
No,
they got fucking planes and shit.
Wow.
Lambos. That's depressing.
Yeah, Lloyd would still be putting his money aside.
Yeah.
I think you kind of fucked on cryptocurrency if you try to invest in it now.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to get the same return that these other kids did.
I know for me, getting this phone, it was just like, because I like things technical, and I used to be an early adopter a long time ago on things. But then I realized you're wasting your money because no sooner did I get something than a year later, everything's new and improved and here and there and whatever. And especially because I don't use my small handheld laptop like you guys. It was just like, I don't really see the need. But now that I have it, with facial recognition, so I'm not having to constantly enter my passcode and getting everything. I mean,
feels kind of futuristic. Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it's cool. I mean, things load faster, but $1,250? And the thing is because I know this because in my 5S 2 years ago, I replaced the battery in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to an Apple store. And I got a battery replacement kit through Amazon, which only cost me maybe $20. And it was good. It was the battery and the tools to and really detailed instructions and a nice box, nice packaging. So obviously this thing cost them next to nothing because they could afford to do all that.
Right.
And when I took that phone apart and saw the inside, I just had to laugh. Because you know how much money people charge for these things. When you see the inside, not the sleekness of the case or the Gorilla Glass or whatever, when you actually see the innards of one of those phones, it makes you laugh because there's nothing there. There's nothing. There's the battery and the processor, and that's it. There's nothing there.
Don't forget that 4K camera, though.
And you think, how much money? How much?
When was the last time you looked at a video with a 4K on your 4K. Phone and was like, oh my God, this phone?
Because he knows he wants people to see him in 4K, baby.
That's right. You know what? There's nothing better than seeing a 4K mole on my face right there in 4K. Let's talk music for a little bit, since the biggest music festival in the U.S. just happened this past weekend, and we got Weekend 2 that's coming up this weekend, which will be following the release of this Beaver Kool-Aid podcast, which, by the way, is episode 30 for you guys out there who are keeping count. The big headliners this year, there's actually some rock. There's not all hip-hop and computers. We have Paul McCartney.
He's talking ACL, by the way.
Right, Austin City Limits Music Festival. Paul McCartney on Friday, Metallica on Saturday. So saw Paul for the first time, and I got to tell you, man, for a 76-year-old dude, great band, voice sounds great. You know, he's fit.
Yeah, the problem is the songs.
The songs were great.
What songs are great?
Oh, come on, Lisle.
What
I mean, look,
songs?
Look, back in the day, if I had to go Beatles, Stones, I was more of a Stones guy. I'm with you there, but you know,
Okay, I'm talking about since the Beatles. What songs are great?
Well, his Wings songs were good. Maybe I'm Amazed. That's a nice song.
No, what songs were great? Jet?
I don't know if that's great.
Yeah, what songs were great?
I don't know. Coming Up was good, man. That was good.
Like a Flower.
Coming Up. He didn't do that one live either.
Wings, Linda McCartney deal was Take It Away. It's one of my favorites.
I don't know. You guys, since the Beatles, what's been good about Paul McCartney?
Look, here's the deal. He wrote a lot of those Beatles songs, and he can still do the Beatles songs. That's my point. I mean, there's something pretty special about seeing him sit at the piano doing Let It Be and the Austin skyline in the background, man. That's kind of a...
I'm going to give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Everybody's singing along to Hey Jude. Come on, man.
That was good.
Well, I know, but if they do, it never ends.
That one went on.
It's like a 40-minute version of na 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 na.
I mean, he started off with early. What was it? I Want to Hold Your Hand. I think was the first song in the set, and I was like, wow.
No, I mean, if I saw Paul McCartney doing Beatles songs, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But anything since then, just stick a finger in my throat. Sorry.
You don't like Wings?
No.
Wow.
No, sorry, man. That was no.
I mean, the thing about it is I took Ava, who's 14 now, and my parents took me to see Elvis in '77 when I was 14, about 4 or 5 months before he died. And I told Ava, she was like, "Oh, Dad, I don't want to go see Paul McCartney." I was like, "Look, when you're 57 years old, you might tell your kids like, man, my dad took me to see Paul McCartney when I was 14. That was cool. I'm really glad he made me go." You know, I'm like...
Yeah, but Elvis was different, and he was, more of a solo guy. And
I mean, I get you.
Even though a great band, and then Paul McCartney is Beatle, but that's okay. That's all right. The difference is that your parents took you to see somebody who was far younger than 70s.
Well, that's true. He was 42, but God, he was in worse shape than Paul. Baby. But he looked horrible. He was
I know, but
at the end of his life.
I mean, he looked horrible because you were a child at the time.
Paul might be around when he's 96, for God's sake. I mean, he looks great. You know, I'm just not a big Paul McCartney post Beatles, and I was never a big Beatles guy anyhow. I hear you.
Beatles were so studio, they weren't players. They were just, they had guys creating crap.
God,
it was a unique moment in time.
Man, the hatred here.
Oh, we're going to get some hate mail on this.
I mean, my hatred is reserved for Kiss. True. No, I mean, I'm just saying that, just have to look at things real. They became a studio band. They weren't a touring band. And, I mean, it was great. I mean, they put down some good stuff, but it was really so much because of the people around them.
I tell you what, you brought up a good point. You're right. The Beatles were predominantly a studio band, but I do believe that you really saw the greatness in Paul McCartney when he toured, when he finally did get the chance to tour with Wings through all those times in the 70s and 80s, or for whatever that's worth. And then to see him
propped up by Linda.
Then to see him now, his band, and this was a really good live show. I mean, I'm telling you, it was an amazing live show. I wouldn't have said this a week ago.
Anytime you get to see an icon, That's a tremendous thing. I'm going to give you that.
But I've seen some icons that were not that great. I mean, I've seen Jerry Lee Lewis here in the last couple of years, and man, he needs to
you don't see
check it in.
Jerry Lee Lewis now. Are you kidding?
Well, yeah, he still tours.
Well, I know, but you don't see him now.
Why not?
You don't see him now.
He's 81.
That's Paul McCartney's been married a couple times. Speaking of people who've been married a couple
Talking about losing some money.
Now he's married to Nancy Chevelle, and that's Chevelle with 2 legs.
Right.
Man. Look, man, sorry. Not everything, but it's just my opinion. You know, it's like if I'm on the radio, I'm not still trying to throw out the shit that worked for me in my 20s.
Yeah.
And people go, yeah, that's cool, because I'm telling you what, people don't like it and they don't think it's cool. And I found that out in my late 40s and my 50s. They don't want the older guys talking about sex.
Yeah.
Or they don't want, at least the younger people don't. They don't want to hear about that. That's just yucky, icky, not good, not there. And I'd say, why, man? What are you talking about?
It's going to happen to you one day.
This goes on all my life. What? But for some reason, no, I couldn't do that.
So speaking of sex and musicians, there's this guy, he's from New Zealand, and he was busted having sex with a cow.
Wow.
And then he helped a miniature horse penetrate him as well and filmed that. And so he's in jail, but he looks exactly, like not a little bit, he looks exactly like James Taylor.
Wow.
See, that's what I mean. You quit playing the old stuff and you move on to something new.
And the interesting thing is that he has sex with
a cow, man.
He has sex with a cow and a miniature horse, and he only gets 3.5 years in jail.
Did he have the iPhone with the 4K camera to capture it all?
Yeah, because Lloyd wants
probably the problem. That's probably the problem, Lloyd, is that he got real good pictures.
Yeah, because all of Lloyd's stuff is very grainy.
I shoot mine in the dark.
You talk about animal husbandry.
He uploaded all of his photos to iCow. But then, he was something in the way it moves. Anyway, he also got busted for some other terrible things.
How sweet it is to be loved by a
moo.
But in the article, it says that he had sex with a female cow. So whoever wrote that isn't a funner.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's
well,
the way
I'm glad that's the way it went down instead of a male cow. Those male cows are horrible.
You're not from Texas. You don't know nothing about no livestock, boy. Hey, speaking of the sex thing, I love that. Speaking of, that's just the most obvious segue.
Yeah.
Speaking of words that end in W. No, so we had been talking before about this company out of Canada that was looking to put this sex doll showroom into Houston, and they all had a cow about it in Houston.
Yeah.
And figure out a way for it not to work, even though not letting free market capitalism take its toll, and just say, open it up, and then nobody shows up and it's gone. And they had said that they were going to open up this place, and they have these expensive sex dolls, though they were saying sex robots, which as a person who's well versed in sex dolls, very much aware of them, there are no robots yet. These are just kind of pliable, more natural things than blow-up dolls, far more expensive.
Silicone things.
So anyhow, Houston had figured out all sorts of different ways to get rid of them. It's not going to happen. It was just going to be a showroom anyhow. But then a lot of people said you can't test drive those types of dolls because you'll never get them totally clean.
Right.
And doing my research for this podcast on this stuff, because we had talked about it, I found out that there in Austin is the #1 manufacturer of sex dolls for the country.
Sure.
Well, I didn't know
that.
that.
For a long time.
Did you guys know that?
No, but I'm glad you told me.
You should see the warehouse where this guy has it. He's got them all hanging up on meat hooks. It's real weird.
You would not. No,
really?
It's actually, it says family-owned, women-owned business.
Wow.
Women-owned, and you can see because you can get height, cup size, whatever you want. And it's like the number one purveyor of these lifelike sex dolls. They're lifelike until it somewhat comes to the face. Just because so many people are doll-like from the neck down now. Is in Austin.
That's amazing.
Why wouldn't it be?
You know, the good thing about it is, though, when the battery starts dying and you get that replacement from Amazon, you open it up and you realize there is nothing there. How can they charge this?
How can they charge for that?
But did you guys know that in your backyard?
Totally
I mean, here it is. It's called Real Love Sex Dolls.
I didn't know that.
And you have to look at it, and they're the number one seller in the U.S.
Real Love Sex Dolls.
Real Love Sex Dolls.
You know what we should do, Drew, is we should drive over there one day just to see if they'd let us go through the showroom, or maybe...
Oh, they're going to have it because they are... You wouldn't believe the selection they have available.
I mean, they got a big... It looks like a Match.com.
I mean, it is a... But it's the real deal. They're Austin, and because I saw one of these newspaper articles about the Houston thing, and then they mentioned the number one seller for sex dolls in the country is out of Austin.
Well, it only makes sense. This is a tech-savvy city, so why not?
They're not that expensive. They're coming in about $1,800.
That's a lot. Well, it's not much more than your phone, though, Lisle. So, you know.
But you can, I know, but you can decide, how tall you want them to be, what the cup size is.
Can I install apps on
And
this?
I just feel bad for guys that this is just so wrong. I mean, it's just like chicks they don't go get some guy doll thingy. Guys are just crazy. I mean, like I said, a hot watermelon.
But think about this, though. The Isolationist, man, there you go. We can get our own little doll.
But when you see these things, I mean, half the pictures look real. You just have to go to other sites to see how truly crazy they are. Look, there's a chick with the elfin ears.
You want to see a good
But
good
out of
movie.
Austin, you need to have these people on your show, Lloyd.
Why don't we have them on Beaver Kool-Aid?
Real Love Sex Dolls.
Yeah, you guys ever seen Lars and the Real Girl?
No.
Yes.
It's with Ryan Gosling. It's a good movie.
Yes.
And it's about him. He's this social, leper, and he ends up buying a sex doll, but treating it as if it's a real, person.
Wow.
And making his family acknowledge it, on the couch and everything. It's bizarre, but it's a good movie.
Well, I can just tell you they haven't updated their site because they're still talking about prices are off during Sextember. No, it's actually, that's wrong. Sextoberfest. So this is current.
You can take an additional 15% off everything.
Sale prices. But I didn't know that once again, see, when you try to sell Austin, that we have a company here that's largest.
What happened to the good old days when you could talk about something on the radio and they'd always send you one, and you'd be talking about it, and next day there it was, man. UPS is delivering
if you
one.
did ads for them, you get a new doll every month, Lloyd.
That's true.
Because you get to talk about the new doll.
Right. That's true.
You say, I just got a 140 centimeter in cup Gwen. And that went on to 157 centimeter B cup Brie.
Let me give you guys a warning here. If you leave your doll's arms or legs up or open for any period of time, longer than a few minutes, you leave your doll with tears. The TPE will cause.
See, you starting to. I'd see you're reading that. You need the premium renewal powder.
Yeah.
The what?
Well, I went right to sex doll care because that's interesting.
I mean, you wouldn't believe skeletal care, bathing your sex doll. Your sex doll's body should be thoroughly cleaned every 30 days by bath or shower. I like this. It's fine to sit your sex doll in water or shower with her.
Well, turns out
do not
they
let
have
her head or neck submerge under the water.
I just started to say I'd be afraid I'd get electrocuted, man.
How many guys are saying, I'm going to push that head down under the water?
These guys are smart, though. They have these replaceable vaginas. Do you see that at the bottom? Replacing
they are
vagina.
replacing.
Now with mild antibacterial soap water and a vaginal irrigator.
So can't you get around?
I see that replaceable vagina kit.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Can't you, what they're talking about, you can't have the doll, brothels because they're not clean. What if you have a replaceable vagina? A detachable
Well, I'm
vagina?
just saying the ones that were coming from Canada, obviously they didn't have a replaceable vagina. Because the news story I saw said that, you know what, you can't have people test driving those or test plowing them because you really can't.
Can't you require a condom?
Until the next one.
I mean, you can require a condom. I'm just trying to help.
This just sounds so icky.
I'm just telling you.
15% off sounds icky. I think it's a good deal.
It's I feel for anybody like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I'm wide open on so many different things, except like some craziness in Japan where they have like I don't know,
Love hotels.
or you come out as a big bunny or something, or
Love hotel.
all the strange things that they have. But even on this is just too bizarre. But I just want to tell you guys because you're there.
Well, that's true. We should pay a visit over there, Drew. Lunch hour one day.
I mean, I'd like to take a tour of
you
the.
guys need to find out about.
Right.
I'd like to take a tour of the facilities.
And the thing is, they never say whether or not they're actually made in the U.S. of A. So are they patriots, socialists, globalists,
They're
or
isolationists, obviously. They're capitalist isolationists.
I'd say they're globalists.
So I have to find that out. But
I
I
think
just
they're
want to let
globalists.
you know that
a lot of the testimonials on here are pretty good. I mean, what a beautiful piece of art. Some good.
What does that one say? Lloyd H.
Yeah. I just like the replaceable vaginas. I just started to think if you could do that in real life, it's like, she comes home one day, you've been together, married about 22 years, like, hey, what'd you get me for Mother's Day? I got you a replaceable vagina. Now strap that thing on and you're fresh as new, just like a 20-year-old.
I use the comb. Warming wand gets her warmed up for you. Then your body heat keeps things hot.
Yeah.
talk to support.
Well, I know what I'm going to put on my Christmas wish list this year.
No, but I just want people to see this because I feel for men when I see this.
One of them
I
says,
really do. It's like
one of them says, I don't know why people would want a real woman.
Are
The
you
fuck?
so lonely?
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
This is better than your right or left hand that have
Well,
been with you all your life.
I think the reason that it's
you
so
better than anyone.
The reason that it's in Austin is because you got a lot of coders up here.
That's
Who
true.
spend 18 hours in front of a computer and don't have any life.
They've created a girlfriend.
Play some Madden and jerk off into a doll.
Yeah.
No, they once again, they're going to have some kind of VR thing. They going off and they got a special mitt. They don't need B-Cup Quinn or
Mitt.
B-Cup Poppy or B-Cup Nova.
Special mitt.
I
One
just
guy
see this stuff
purchased
and
a
I'm thinking,
female and a male doll.
this is a great interview to have because these are women. We're a family-owned, we're run by women.
Ricky S. says, I've never been this happy in my life.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it, right?
That's not a good thing.
Don't knock it till you
All
try
I
it.
can say is for those of you who are here and you think, life goes up and down, at least you haven't gone to this site and sprung for the closet bar suspension kit for worry-free storage and for the ease of dressing and maintenance of your sex doll.
There it is.
This is all I'm saying. Life is not that bad.
You guys think
But
that
I'm
should've-
sorry that we brought up masking on this show. It's about guys masking on this show, which is guys getting in freaking rubber suits.
Yeah.
They can pretend to be women and they've got rubber genitalia over their regular body. We've talked about because Lloyd brought it up, the brothel or sex doll manufacturer that had like a so-called robot brothel. That's a misnomer in Toronto, was going to set something up in Houston. And I just wanted to say, you never had to do any of these things. All you had to do was go to Austin.
Right here in our back door. And hers.
It's all right there. You get your pre-option sex doll right there in Austin.
Back door.
You got it.
Right. I like her with a metal plate in her head.
I will go to your party and I will tear it up.
Really? Beaver Kool-Aid.
Get it hard.
With Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
Make it like a man.
So go ahead, stick your head up your ass.